Hello and welcome to our last day of the LAMRIM 43, The Magic of Empty Meditation. My name is Pachi, I work for the Asian Classical Institute, and I'm again your host for today. Let's all warmly welcome our teacher, Geshe Michael Roach.
Thank you, Pachi. Thank you, Shanti. Son, who's next generation. By the way, Pachi, I heard that Guadalajara had a nice fire offering yesterday, and we'd like to give him a hand. Yay. I have announcements I'm supposed to do, so let's get them out of the way so I can focus. All right. Peachtree World News. We have a new show that is done out of the Peachtree Cafe, by the way, which opened officially yesterday. Nickname is the Black Hole Cafe. So we do a TV show out of there, and it's a monthly show. It's a 2-day show, and we tell you what's going on around the world in Worldview. So now we have like 18 organizations, and they're doing something every day practically. So that show's purpose is to let you know what's happening around the world that you might want to tune into. So we have the handsome Daniel Garcia and the more handsome John Oisen here, and we'd like to thank them. There'll be a show May 11th and May 12th. It's 6 a.m. World Central Time, which is 3 p.m. in Europe and 9 p.m. in Asia. Okay, May 11th and 12th. I think it's a Thursday and a Friday, right? Something like that. Because Saturday morning the cafe is busy, and we can't have TV equipment there. Okay. All right, we will be featuring the BCI is doing a Latin America tour in the summer. So you're welcome to find out about that. Mixed Nuts is doing 60 advanced translation classes. Shortly after that, you're welcome to come to that. ACI is starting their programs in Kyoto, Japan. You're welcome to come to that. And that's, we're going to talk about that. And DSCU, Diamond Silk University, is an MBA university with an accredited American degree. You can find out more about that. And so come to Peachtree World News, May 11th and 12th, Thursday and Friday. Oh, and the Kyoto ACI event, it's a new idea called 3+3. You come to 3 days of classes, and guilt-free, you have a 3-day vacation in Kyoto, and overeat, go shopping at Takashimaya, which is the most expensive department store in the world. You could buy some gum there or something. And I went there to sell them jewelry like 30 years ago, and they were selling grapefruits for $60. Anyway, and then we'll be talking more about the Tonglen service grants on the Peachtree World News. So a lot of news to make sure you guys cover on the World News show. Because the COVID has finished, we are reopening the Overseas Monastery Study Program. And many people have had amazing experiences there. And we basically give you a grant and you go study in a real active 3,000 monk Tibetan monastery. And you don't have to be too serious about studying. It's just fun to go. But don't tell Rebecca, who's in charge of that. And I think everyone who's ever gone has changed their life. whether they became a translator or whether they just worked for DCI or somebody else, it's an amazing experience. It's a once in a lifetime experience. Okay, men and women are welcome to come, and we're working out. And you will be babysitted by Geshe Lothar, who has babysitted many thousands of people. My teacher, Ken Rinpoche, always had children in his classes running around uncontrolled, and their parents were more uncontrolled. And just kidding. And I think Rob knows those kids turned out amazing, like stockbrokers and fashion designers and stuff like that. So we had a kid in this room, I don't know, 23 years ago or something, named Zelly, Kat's son, and I'd like to welcome him today. Her kids turned out so well that it's proof that you can just bring them to class at Diamond Mountain. They'll take care of the rest of it. You don't have to worry about it. And he's a really fine young man, as is his brother. I think we did a good job. Okay. All right, but you could talk to him and see what's up. Yeah. Oh, email Rebecca Vinacore at an unknown address with an unknown QR code. Oh, you're going to put it on the chat. Maybe you could make me a QR code before the end of that. All right, very good. Tonglen Service Grant Fund is up to 41,000. Yay. Which means since yesterday. So if you're interested in applying for a grant to work for Diamond Mountain or ACI, please QR code this, and we'd like to have your application. Okay, and then I don't know, Sunam and Tim are gonna. If you don't get accepted or you don't get enough money, complain to them. Okay, that's Sunam and Tim. If you're happy about the program, contact me. But we still need some more money. We still have some rings, right? Diamond meditation rings with raw diamonds, or maybe without a bribe, you could just make a donation. And you're welcome to. It'd be nice to hit 50 today, halfway, right? So if you're into it, we had a board meeting. Was it ACI? Yeah. I mean, we did 10,000 in the board meeting. It was great. We had a lot of board members gave donations. So if you can, please give a donation to them. And it gives grants for people to work for ACI or Diamond Mountain. If you'd like to work, if you'd like to take 2 years off and do something fun, maybe it's the only time in your life you're going to have time to take 2 years off of your busy corporate job or whatever, and do something different for 2 years. It's a nice chance to see what else might be waiting for you. I worked in corporate in Manhattan for 19 years. And then I took a 3-year break, and I did a 3-year retreat, and it's amazing. It's a wonderful change of life. It changes a lot in your life. So I encourage you to apply for a grant for 2 years. Think about taking 2 years off of your life and just see what you can do. And I think it will change the course of the rest of your life. So think about that, all right? Anybody in the room, all right? Cool. All right. Timothy, I'm ready to go to teach a class, right? All right. We're at Dung Stemchen, I think. DA space DUNG. Yeah, good. Okay. Who's running the Tibetan? Is that you again? Rebecca. Okay, good. Just so I know who to yell at. 다들 쌤책이 등양 것을 내비 주 달의 충외 다 렉버치 냠들 동면 치네 르베기 땅나 now is my chance to take on other people's problems directly. Dare chungwa lekbo chung means I'm so lucky. Okay, lekbo chung means I'm so lucky. Nyamdu tonglen chene le be kitangna means send your mind after the suffering of other people like you are sicking a dog on a thief in your house. Okay, like you have a big mean dog and somebody breaks into your house and you say, get him, you tell the dog, get him, so your mind, when you see other people having problems, tell your mind, oh, now here's your chance, we studied Donglen for a whole week. Now go get him, and your mind's supposed to chomp up the suffering of other people, okay? Now here's a story, and we have a picture of a boy at the beach, okay? A boy at the beach. And there's a story behind this picture. So Rebecca, are you there? Natsa, you ready? Natsa? Natsa yang parche de mingyur. Even getting sick becomes an opportunity rather than a problem, okay? Gejo pelje du do. It becomes a, what do you call that? When you have a jet airplane and you have a special engine that like turbocharge, makes the plane go faster than before. So this kind of meditation can make your progress more. If you get sick, it's a chance to turbocharge your practice. Nar kunpang chakpa chakembe loma zene chua. Kunpang Chakyen is a Lama named Kunpang Chapa Gyaltsen. Probably he lived 1,000 years ago. Nobody knows his dates. He was like a Kadampa Lama. Genki Loma Zene. Ze means leprosy. He got leprosy. So this is a disease where your fingers fall off, and it's a terrible disease. Okay, you still see it in India sometimes. Zene Chuma, Kimo Zateng means, Kimo Zateng is a place name, but it's similar to a beach. But it has a lot of clay there, soft clay. Ne Sangba, this song, what's song usually mean? Yeah, Sangye usually means Buddha, but sang as a verb can mean to clean away a disease. Sang means to dispel a disease, okay? Logyu means the story of his disease. And I didn't know what it was, and I was in a rush. I prefer to look it up myself because I was jealous of art and I wanted to prove I could do it. He's a translator. But I was too busy, so I went to check his book, and he said I didn't find this story. And then I got more interested. So I used John Brady's database, and it's a very difficult thing. There's 3 million pages searchable, and you have to craft the search. Like the Lama's name here is abbreviated. It's like, I don't know, Rob Haggerty would be Rahag or something like that. And it's complicated to search. You need proximity Boolean or you can't do it. Right, Joe? And of course, it'd be nice to have what's that called? The database that you're working on? Instead of a straight file, relational. Yeah, that would be nice. He's working on a relational database. Anyway, I worked really hard and I didn't find it. And then we have this, we have a grab bag of 10,000 books that we didn't catalog yet. So they were typed in, they were found by John Brady in some weird library in some weird country. And he found them, they typed them in, they don't know the name, they don't know the author, they don't know where it belongs. We have 10,000 of those books. And it's like a very frightening place to go. And so I thought, well, what the heck, let me try that. And I found it, okay? Which means we need more help cataloging the books. That's about 30 years of work or something. And we're working on it, but it's just really hard work. It takes many hours to do each book. And if you catalog a book in the wrong place, you will never find what you're looking for. And we're the only database, ALL is the only database of Asian literature that has those categories. So it's not just an amazing, where's John Brady when I'm bragging about him? He's probably asleep. Tell him I was bragging about him. It's the only database where you can go by subject. So you could say, I'm interested in Lojong, or I'm interested in Tonglen meditation. And you can go to a shelf in the database and all the Tonglen books are there. And that takes a long time to catalog. So we're working on that. We have a 3-person team. But anyway, I found the story. So here you go. You're the first people to ever hear it since it was first taught. Okay. You read? Yeah. Go back up. You guys got the wrong text up here. That's okay. You can use this one. All right. Kumbang drop a Gyaltanki Loma. Right at Geshe Karak Ba Chawayan Den Dang Kusu Chemba Cheba Shigla Ze Jung Tup. So this person was a student of a lama named Kumbang Drapa Gyaltan. And the student's name was Geshe Karakpa. He lived about 900 years ago. Yendendang Kusu Chembo Chepa. He was a very great teacher, great practitioner, but he got Zay. Yeah, I told you a long time ago, like this morning. Zay, yeah, he got leprosy. Zay Chung Tup, Chi Che Kyang, Tup Chi Che Kyang Ma Pen. By the way, this text is 1,000 years old and it's really hard to read. But Chi Che Kyang Ma Pen means he tried everything and it didn't help. Okay. Nup Chik Ne Di Kandayan, Mi Kyune Bupa. This is really funny in Tibetan, you know. It says Nup Chik means, did you find it, you guys? Did I ever send it to you? I did? Okay, good. Don't worry about it. Nup Chik means one evening. Nen Di Kandayan. He said, the nature of leprosy is that it's just going to get worse and worse. My fingers are going to fall off. My feet will fall off. He says, Mi Q means the flock of human beings. And it means humankind. Mi Q ne bupa means sooner or later, people are going to kick me out of society. And lepers in those times, if you read the Bible, for example, lepers were thrown out of the cities, and they had to camp somewhere and try to survive. And so he said, well, I got leprosy. By the way, there's no cure in ancient times. And he said, sooner or later, Kang Taryang means sooner or later, people are gonna kick me out of the city and out of human people's place. They're gonna make me stay out in the wilderness. Da Buddha, because it's very contagious. If you touch a leper, you get leprosy. Okay, no ship a shik chung. Longju kan yu ge chou la dang. Then he had this weird insight. He said, anyway, I'm gonna get kicked out of society. I'm gonna have to go out in the empty place somewhere and try to survive. And I'm gonna die from the leprosy. So I might as well give away all my stuff. He had this insight, you know, I have no future. I'm gonna die anyway. Let me use my let me give away my stuff. What the hell? It doesn't matter anymore. So he gave away everything he had to poor people. He said, it's not going to do me any good. I might as well share it with somebody. Then he went to this place called Kimozateng, and that's the kid picture on the beach. He went to the wet clay sands and he smeared some of the clay on his body. Okay. Tola Lamsen Long. And then he was begging for food there. And a Mani Teng Nyambachung. He thought, well, I'll go there. Maybe the clay will help me, and I'll just sit by the side of the road and ask people for food. And money den means I'll do some monies. I'll do some omani ben mehuns, and that's the rest of my life. I don't have anything else. They knew Milam na Kong Chu Kirwe. That night he had a dream that he was swept away by a flood. Mi karpo shiki chune dun, and a shining white being came from the sky and plucked him from the waters. Okay, Kimodza Tengi Jak Tengdu, and placed him on top of a mountain safe from the dangerous waters at Kimodzateng. Shakbe, Lule Chu Mambo Sakpa, and then all this dirty water came out of his body. And he dreamed, he had this dream. Okay. State Sana means when he woke up. Mel Chu King means his mattress was soaked with water. Okay. Zay Sang, what's it mean? Zay Sang. Yeah, his leprosy was gone. Okay, his leprosy was gone. Zay Sang. He probably had to go back and get his money and stuff back. Zay Sang, Hanser Sung. Okay. Then he says, say le tawa din yamto ma kepa kepa. Say le tang means when you give up on your own needs, when you give up on what your plans were for your life. Nyamto ma kepa means the realizations that you didn't have yet, kepa, you get them. Okay, you get realizations that you never had. When kepa means nyambar, pel the tong, and whatever good qualities you already have, they get increased. Okay, go down top nyak ching. That's the one and only way to do it. So, why is this story coming here? Now, by the way, you're the first people since Pabonka taught it to hear the real story. But why is it here? What were we talking about before that? Say it into the microphone, then everybody can hear.
The moral, I think, here is that even in the horrible disease time, when that comes, you can turn it into a practice. And
yeah, good.
Be pure.
Yeah. Any problem you have can be transformed into a benefit. Okay. All right. Yeah. You can use problems as an excuse to do something radically good. Because what do you have to lose? Okay. He decided that he had a life-threatening problem, so he might as well just give away everything he had. And that decision cured him. Got it? He really did a Tonglen. And that decision cured him. And we were talking about Colombo. Who can explain it? 3 steps. Microphone. Who's Colombo? As a detective on TV that my Lama used to love. Like, sure, you can say Sherlock Holmes. Never mind. That was just a joke in Paris one day. Okay, that's funny. Anyway, this detective used to smoke a cigar, and he would find the deeper he would always catch the bad guy through little clues. He would trace little clues. So what's the tracing here? What's the tracing we did? Any problem you have like leprosy, it traces
Karmic reasons
to a karma which traces
to taking care of myself first.
Yeah, good, nice. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So he did that. He traced it back like a detective. Okay. And that detective used to smoke a cigar all the time. And we have to talk to my wife about how you got this. Exactly. So we went to Paris. We went to a coffee shop. There was a cigar shop. We made a joke and we had a cigar, and that's the only cigar I ever smoked in my life. So I don't know how she got the photo, but you gotta trace it back. You can trace it back. He had leprosy. He traced it back to. He decided to do something. He traced it back to some bad karma. And some bad karma always traces back to taking care of yourself first. Okay. And that's the story. That's what we're studying. That's if you don't remember anything else from this week, if you get a problem, I think all of us are good at tracing problems back to the first step. You know, like you get sick and you say, oh, I must have ignored sick people, right? But then you have to go back one more step and say, was I taking care of myself first? Okay. Are you not supposed to take care of yourself? You are supposed to take care of yourself, but equal to other people. You can't prioritize. You can't say your needs are more important than other people, but you're supposed to take care of both. The habit of taking care of yourself first is the root of all bad karma. That's what they're saying here. Okay, cool. So working backwards, it means if you ever get sick, you know, you can go crazy and look up all specialists in Phoenix, the only city around here, and try to find someone who can help you. But that's only tracing back the germs. What do you call it? The sickness demons. That, you know, they never did anything anyway. It was you. You collected some bad karma, and you were watching out for yourself instead of other people. That's all. You want to cure any disease, trace it backwards to a time when you were taking care of yourself and ignoring other people. All right. Next picture. I have two Indonesian friends who often go to Muara Jambi. They call it Jambi for short, right, Sugeng? And 1,000 years ago, in 982 or something like that, Atisha was living in North India, and he heard there was a lama in Indonesia who knew about Tonglen. Okay, 800 years ago. Sorry, 1,000 years ago. He was living in North India. He heard there was somebody who knew about Tonglen, and he wanted to learn it. So he walked to South India. He got on a rickety wooden ship, and he sailed for 13 months to Indonesia. Most people had died who ever tried that. And he reached Indonesia. And there's, in Tibet, in Sanskrit, it's called Suvarna Dwipa Guru. Suvarna means the golden island. And he went looking for Suvarna Dwipa Guru, whose other name is, I think, Dharmakirti. But he's not the other Dharmakirti. So there's two Dharmakirti. But he went looking. He risked his life for 13 months to go to Indonesia so he could get a Tonglen teaching. And you guys just have to go to Diamond Mountain or turn on your Zoom call. Okay, all right. Much easier. Okay, so here's a wake-up call from Jambi. By the way, that's all that's left of Jambi, right, Sugeng? I guess there's not much else there. Some temples. Yeah, a huge land, cleared land, and just this one small piece left. So Gang was using it as an example for what Diamond Mountain should do, I think. All right, Shenyang Kengen Gewe Kulma Yin Shepatar. Kengen means bad stuff happens to you. Gewe Kulma. Kulma means like a whip that you use for a horse or something like spur on your feet when you kick the horse with this sharp thing and then they run. Okay, so kulma means like something that spurs you on or something that makes you go faster. Okay, then he says problems are the spurs for good deeds, good karma. Okay. Shepatar, Dungel min duna, dikpa pong shik chepe dar samne, sokso dib jongna be. If you don't want to suffer, you're going to have to stop hurting other people. Dar samne, so dib jongna be. Then you can start collecting good karma. Okay? Then this Lama Pabonka keeps quoting people and not telling us where it's from. And the principle of this group, okay, ACI, we go find it, okay? We don't say, oh, I wish I knew what he was talking about. You know, we dig around, we go to Mongolia and go through 300,000 books and find it, you know? And so we did find it. And here's the story. Right? It is from the Lojong Yundunma, the 7-point Lojong. Go past the, by the way, that's the cataloging information. And then go down to Serlingbe. What's Serlingba? Suvana Dvipa Guru. Who made this quotation? It was the Lama in Indonesia that Atisha went to visit. Okay, this is a quotation from him directly. So it's very cool. By the way, we are translating a famous book by Atisha's other teacher, which is, what's it name? Teji's working on this book. And we're translating a poem that he wrote, and he gave it to Atisha, and he said, you're gonna be going to Tibet, and people are crazy there. And you're gonna need some help. So he wrote him a poem. Who was the author again? I forgot. Huh? Yeah, Dhammarakshita. So there's a beautiful poem that Dhammarakshita, who's another teacher of Atisha, and we're translating that book. Sage is translating that book. And we're combining that poetry with the poetry of Rumi from the Arabic translation. So Rumi wrote in Persian and Turkish and Arabic. And Sage's wife is translating Rumi from the Arabic. Okay, and so they'll be having a program at the end of this month. Okay, 2-day program. It's a poetry program about spiritual poetry, and they decided to do something really original with it. So we have 18, 19 organizations. Each organization specializes in a different spiritual need. Diamond Mountain specializes in retreats. ACI specializes in meditations. MSI, Meditation Studies Institute, helps people learn to meditate. ALL saves ancient books. YSI teaches yoga. But we don't have anything for kids and for families. So Seiji and Noor decided to do a program for families, parenting, how to bring up children, because that's their challenge right now. Like maybe Kat can be an advisor since Zelly came out so well. But they're going to be doing a parenting course. Okay, how to be a good parent. So if you're interested in that, that'll be this end of this month. And they will use these two poets as sources. Okay, very cool. Dhammarakshita and Rumi. Okay. What's the best-selling poetry in English? It's Rumi translation. Okay, the best-selling poetry in the last 100 years in English is not English. It's written in Persian and it's translated into English. Okay, so we're gonna do the Arabic poems, which are not so well known and haven't been translated that much, and Nor's translating those. Okay, cool. And we'll mix them with the Buddhist poetry. All right. Anyway, here's some poetry from Suvarna Dvipa Guru. Genyen Gewe Kumayin. Problems in your life are spurs for you to move faster towards your spiritual goals. Okay. Jaden Gyalwe Chotuyin. Demons who come to you and try to mess up your practice are, Chotu means they are emanations of the Gyalwa, Jina, the Buddha. Okay. Did you have any demons in your life lately? Yes. I mean, besides yourself. Yes. Well, guess what? They're all emanated by the Buddha to get your ass moving. Okay. All right. Natsa Digjiki Chakshin Te. Sickness is the Chakshin for $50. Chakshin. Yeah. $50 for Tim. Kind of cruel to take the money from your own organization. Chakshin means a prostration board. Okay, prostration board. And Natsa Digdip, people use it to purify bad deeds. Like if you yelled at your mom, you'd go do 100 prostrations on a prostration board. So he says, when you get sick, use it as the prostration board to purify your bad karma. Okay. Natsa Digdipki Chakshingte, Bingel Chinyiki Yolang Yin. This is nice. So this is talking about someone who instigates a riot. Okay, like Huey Newton, right? Were you around in those days? Black Panthers. So when me and your mom were young, 100 years ago, there were these guys who would cause riots in different cities. I was at Princeton. He went to New Brunswick, like 45 minutes away, and started a riot, and they burned down half of Brunswick, you know. And so what do you call a person like that? It's people who start riots, okay? He says, problems in your life is the riot instigator of emptiness understanding. Isn't that cool? The riot is understanding emptiness. The civil disturbance is understanding emptiness. And who starts the riot is problems in your life, okay? It takes a serious problem in your life to kick you in the rear end and get you to do something about emptiness. It's a very beautiful last line, okay? So good luck translating it, I don't know. Serious problems in your life are the Huey Newton of emptiness realizations. Okay, got it? Okay, yeah, I like it. I spent a night in the Trenton jail with those guys. That was an experience. All right. Rangre la Kianyamba Machungna. Nawa Kitachu Be Chimi Denla. Then he says, if you don't have problems in your life, you'll just be lulled by the small pleasant things in life. You get some good coffee and have a, thanks for the coffee, Rob. You will just be interested in $100 coffee bags and stuff. You will get distracted by small pleasures of this life. If nothing serious bad happens to you, you're not lucky. Okay, if something serious bad happens to you, you're lucky. Why? And no one can talk to you. Chumi den means you won't think about the Dharma. Okay. If you don't have problems, you don't think about the Dharma. My teacher, I don't know, he got a little addicted to TV. I don't know what he was doing because he was doing mantras the whole time. Maybe it was for my benefit, I don't know. But he would, Rob was around, I think, he would bang on the floor with his cane. And that meant I was supposed to race upstairs and see something interesting on TV, you know. And he wouldn't, I wasn't allowed to watch TV, but he was allowed to watch TV. And if there was something really interesting, he would bang on the floor. And then I was supposed to run upstairs and see what he was doing. And there was this lady in a miniskirt, Vanna White. There's this lady in a miniskirt, and in between the nightly news, she would do a lottery, and she would she'd come out and spin a wheel, and somebody would win $10 million. And then they would be outside the person's home with a microphone and say, "How do you feel?" You know, and they're like, you know, and my Lama really liked it, you know, and I'm like, "Why do you like that so much?" And he says, "It's a statement on the human condition." And I said, "What do you mean it's a statement on the human condition?" He says, when someone gets in a really bad car accident, they get out of the car and they say, "Why me?" And then when they win the lottery, they're just like, "Ah!" Nobody says, "Why me?" You know? And he says, "There's a deep lesson there." And I'm like, Then he forced me to watch Vanna White every night. And the idea is when bad stuff happens, you ask questions. And when you win the lottery, you don't ask questions. When stuff is going well and you're having a good coffee, I would rate it as medium. Maybe you guys can get in touch with Peachtree Cafe to upgrade the coffee here. You can, when things aren't pleasant, you don't ask why, and you don't make any progress. When things screw up, you start asking questions. So he says you should pray that for car accidents and stuff like that. Okay. What should you pray for? Kanye, Gakana. Kanye means people criticize you online. Like everyone hates you online, and they start criticizing. Kanye means criticism. You get criticized by everybody. That's a good thing because you'll start thinking about karma. Okay. Gakka means your life savings get wiped out by a bad stock investment or something, like in 10 minutes. That's called Gakka. What do you call that? I don't know. It's like a financial disaster that takes your whole life savings in about 10 minutes. It's called Gakka. There's a word for it in Tibetan. Okay. The company you invested in goes under and you lose everything in 10 minutes. Okay. That's called Gakka. Then if you've been to Diamond Mountain, you should be, yay! Now I can practice Dharma, you know. Because you'll ask yourself why, and then you'll reach bad karma, and then you'll ask yourself why, and you'll reach taking care of yourself first. Okay. Gakka natsa so ken nyen chung na de yin jung kene nyomle le langba. It gets you off your rear end, gets you doing some good practice, gewa juk, and you will get into good karma, trying to do good things for other people, like donating to the grants, the Tonglen grant program, so other people can come and get a salary to serve. Okay. All right. Oh, here's the picture for you guys. There you go. I don't know. By the way, I hate fundraising. I don't like doing it. I have to do it every single day. And if you would just give me your money, I wouldn't have to do it. You know, I don't like doing it. It's not like I don't think anyone likes doing it. So it's just something we have to do. All right, here's the next picture, Daniel. This is a protest. She happens to be protesting global warming or something. But what's it mean? Yeah, problems in your life are instigators of movements, okay? You need a few dedicated people to make a movement happen, okay? And the few dedicated people are diseases you get or car accidents you have or like that. You need some dedicated people who start the protest movement, and that's your problems, okay? And the protest movement is you do something about your karma. You try to collect good karma. Okay? You need these people. You need these special people, okay? Yeah, okay. We did a protest. We were helping the farm workers in Arizona, and Cesar Chavez. We were working for Cesar Chavez for 2 years, and he was a great Mexican American leader, and he got people. What do you call it? Better payment and better working conditions for the farm workers in Arizona, and so we were the protest people who went out and caused trouble and got people to do something, okay, like that. You need a trigger. So the trigger is what? Problems in your life, okay? All right. So without telling you anything, Pabonka goes to the second half of that quotation that we already figured out. Okay, if you don't have John Brady's database, you don't know it's the same person talking here, which is Serlingba, which is that Tonglan master from Indonesia. By the way, there's a lot of stories about people walking to India from Tibet to meet the great masters and learn Buddhism. But there was a period in history when Indonesia was more advanced than India. And the great scholars, the great monks would go from China and take a ship to Indonesia. And so there was a time when if you wanted to learn Buddhism, you would go to Indonesia and not to India. It was more, Buddhism was stronger in Indonesia than India. And you can still see those places, and it's very beautiful. Okay, Shepatar Gel Gong Jedun Soki Nupa Chungna. If you get hurt by Gongbo, which means demon, J means like bad spirit, Dun means evil spirit, Yao means the government. It's so funny. Evil spirits, bad spirits, ghosts, and your government. Okay. I didn't write it. I'm just reading it. No, but if they hurt you, okay. I must have forgotten the Dharma in the past. Gokor Tang means specifically to, Go means head, right? Kor means circle, like Sipe Korlo. So Gokor Tang means to mislead other people. Especially you pretend to be a nice person or you pretend to be a religious person and then you let other people down. Okay, that's called Gokor Tang, spinning other people's head. Gokor ne yubala handi chila kulwe karin chen yam degom. You know cotton because somebody named a book that. Yeah, okay. What's it mean? Cotton. Oh, kindness, yeah, okay, specifically of your teacher, okay, cutting. So he says here, illness, problems, disasters in your life, losing all your money is cutting. It's the kindness of your spiritual teacher. Thank you. Thank you for messing up my life. Because now I'm gonna think about where stuff comes from. Okay. And when things are going smoothly, nobody worries about where things are coming from. So Kajan, if you want real Kajan, the kindness of your teacher, it's serious illness, it's a breakup in your relationships, problems in your life. Okay. They get you going in a way that nothing else does. Okay, rangi le kya tang shena, dunya ki kyang chini to pekyen. This is beautiful. Kya tang means the way your mind works. And by the way, his Tibetan here is exquisite, and no one has ever matched this Tibetan, and nobody ever will. The language is dying. It's getting Indicized in India, and it's getting Sinified in Tibet. The language is dying. But here is the peak of that language. Le Kiertan Shena means if you really understand the way your mind works, okay, Kiertan Shena, if you really study how your mind works when you're under pressure from problems of life, it can be a powerful inspiration to see emptiness directly. Okay, that's very cool. You know, what he's saying is when you have serious problems in your life, and look, kirtan means if you really understand your mind, if you study your mind in meditation, you can use problems to see emptiness directly. That's cool. Okay, so we have a nice picture here. He says, okay, disasters are your friend. The disasters in your life are your friend. Financial disaster, relationship disaster, occupation disaster, they are your friends. So I was thinking these puppies are like disasters in your life. And you got to make friends with them and let them lick you. Okay. When problems come, you got to snuggle up, say, oh, I love you. Guess what? You just lost all your income. Oh, lick me some more. Okay, so these puppies are what? Your problems in your life. And we're talking serious problems. We're talking, your girlfriend broke up with you, or you lost all your money, or someone scratched your Tesla, you loaned them your Tesla, your new Tesla, and they scratched it. That happened somewhere that I know. Okay, then just snuggle up to those little disasters because they are going to help you see empty. Okay, snuggle up. Come on. Carry some dog treats around with you. What's that? I don't know. Lamrim, I guess. Okay. Nata so rang chenzin le chungwei. Sickness has come from rang chenzin. Okay. In the end, sickness has come from taking care of yourself first. Then there's the second line here. Dratul matuba. Dra, from Drachomba. Arhat. Yeah. So Dra means it means enemy. Okay. Dra means enemy. Okay. Tul means to. Tul is the past tense of dulwa. Vinaya. So Dratul means to control an enemy. Dulwa, Vinaya means to control yourself. Okay. It's Buddhist ethics. It's called Dulwa. Okay. But Dul means to control your enemies. Okay. Dratul means to control your enemies. Okay. He says your problems like sickness or financial problems are ammunition against taking care of yourself first, which is your biggest enemy. Okay? And if you want to defeat the biggest enemies in your life, then snuggle up to all your serious problems and let them lick you and get used to them and treasure them like a favorite puppy. Okay. Oh, I got the serious disease. Yummy, and snuggle up to them because they're going to help you defeat your biggest enemy. Okay. Chicken, rok, do rok. Rok means they help you out. Okay. Chicken, yimbe. Therefore, they are Geshe means cut Geshe. Geshe is abbreviation for cut Geshe. Huge kindness, super kindness, okay? Super kindness, cut Geshe. Your problems are better than the kindness of your lama. Your problems are a super lama kindness, okay? And you should treasure them like a favorite puppy. Like, oh, you got a new disease. You're so lucky. Okay. All right. Here's a nice picture for you guys. Ta-da. This is the Grand Canyon. This is an ice fall on the Grand Canyon. It's like a 800 or 1,000-foot drop. And these idiots are going out on an icy day to walk down the Grand Canyon. I did that walk once. Johnny, did you ever do that? I don't know. So there's like people on donkeys going up and down, and they take the inside. And you're on the outside, and you're like, and it's I got like halfway down, and I said, this is stupid. And I have a policy in my life. This is just a policy, and I think it's a good policy, which is why I made it to 70. I don't do stupid, dangerous things. Okay. Somebody said, let's go skydiving. I said, you go. They said it's 99% safe. I said, you go. I don't do stupid stuff. I just don't do it, I just don't do it. I don't walk down the Grand Canyon on a nice day. I don't walk down the Grand Canyon in the spring or in the fall. I don't walk down the Grand Canyon. My 6th grade teacher fell off the cliff of the Grand Canyon, and her father grabbed her hair when she was a kid and pulled her back up. And I don't get close to the edge. I stay in Flagstaff. That's like 2 hours. Okay, got it. So here's the Tibetan. Rang tse ken nyambashi chunka nyam len kyur kyang chema data mi chepar perna drilpe changdok par lebdu sap chepa she. You and me, when we get a serious problem, we forget our Buddhist practice immediately. Like your car breaks down or someone screws you and your Buddhist practice goes out the window. You and me, when we get a personal problem, someone hurts us, someone cheats us, our Buddhist practice disappears immediately. He says, rather, you should use those as opportunity. When someone hurts you, or when there's a disaster in your life, then use it to sharpen your Buddhist practice. Use it as an excuse to think about your Buddhist practice. And he says, when someone does something bad to you, or when a major problem comes up, picture that old picture, the Grand Canyon. Ice in the Grand Canyon picture. Again, he says, step carefully. Okay, it's called, in Tibetan, it's called Trangdok. Trangdok sub. Say sub. Sub means take it easy. Be careful. Sub means be careful. Okay, when something bad happens in your life, someone hurts your feelings, someone takes something from you, Sup means walk carefully. And Tongdok means the narrow way. There's a book called the Tibetan Book of the Dead. The real name is Tongdok Nyulam. It's called the narrow, dangerous cliff path. The Tibetan Book of the Dead real name is the narrow, dangerous cliff path. Okay, and it compares the Bardo to one of these paths on a cliffside. Okay, and by the way, that book is wrong. That book is false. The book was made up by somebody. Don't read it. Don't use it. It's wrong. Okay, it's called Tibetan Book of the Dead or something. I had a friend who went to a mental asylum because of this book. So just forget it. Okay, if you were interested about Bardo, what happens to you in the Bardo, what to do in the Bardo, talk to Sugang. He translated the real book. Okay, all right, which is Vasabandhu. So Tongdok, sup. When you get to an icy, narrow cliff path, sup. You know, walk carefully. It means remember your practice. Don't give up your practice. Okay, don't give up your practice every time you have a hard time. Learn to turn your practice on when you have hard time. Okay, let hard times be a reason why you should practice instead of being a reason why you should forget your practice. Okay, and then when you get in a bad situation with another person, sup. You know, step carefully. Don't slip and fall off the cliff. Okay, so use problems as opportunities. And when you approach a problem, when you first get into a problem, you know, when your girlfriend says, I'm leaving, you know, that's the moment that you have to sup. You have to turn on your Dharma and say, oh, wait, this could really upset me. I better step carefully, you know, I better step carefully on the ice. Okay, so get used to, make it a practice, make it a habit that when bad stuff happens, you remember to be careful and step carefully, and then make it an opportunity. Turn the problem into an opportunity. And they always are. Okay, if you're a well-trained Buddhist, every serious problem you get, you can look back later and say, this is when I made the decision that made me super successful. Okay, it's the problem times that, and I'm talking from a personal experience, you know, 70 years of suffering. Okay, and every time I had a major problem, it became the greatest opportunity in my life. You know, so every time you think you're having a major problem, use it, turn the energy around, and you will find out that these are the times when you make the most progress. And there's nothing like a major problem to change your life. It gives you an opportunity to change your life. When you run into a major problem, you get a unique opportunity to take a new path. Okay, you are released from your old life, and you don't have any choice back then. Then it's time to find something new. Okay, and I've done it many times in my life, and I can tell you each one is an opportunity. And you will look back and you will say, I'm so grateful this person broke up with me, or I'm so grateful that this person screwed me. I'm so grateful that this person took my position and I had to find something new. And you will look back and thank them, you know, with great gratitude. So use problems as chances to change your life. Okay, and you will keep progressing. You'll keep climbing. Okay. Timothy, Q&A if you want. We got 10, 12 minutes. Can you raise your hand and try to get the box from somebody? Nah. The reason we throw the box is to wake up the people who that get hit on the head. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Geshe, for all you're doing. I'm very grateful for that. I have a question. It's always in my mind, and we say, or whether you say, when some things change, it must coming out of my mind. Why we say that?
If things change, it's
Yes.
coming from your mind.
Yes.
Why is that?
It must coming out of my mind.
When
maybe-
things change, it must be coming
Yeah.
from your mind.
Yes. Why we
Why?
say that?
Oh, yeah, it's the pen thing, okay? And the pen is a very, very useful thing. You know why I chose a pen? Anybody have a pen? Yeah, 25 years ago, I chose a pen because we always have pens around. I didn't know the cell phone was going to be invented. And actually, it's hard to find a pen sometimes nowadays. But I thought at the time that everybody would always have a pen around close by. And then all of this stuff about dependent origination, all this stuff about cause and effect, all this stuff about emptiness, you can understand it completely in 2 minutes. Okay. Or you can study the scriptures for 25 years. It's up to you. Okay. But there's nothing more than the pen. That's it. I have studied for 25 years and I found out it's just a pen. Okay. So if you understand the pen, you can save a lot of time and money. Okay. So, and it's so simple that it feels stupid. But the greatest truths are the simple truths, and the complicated truths are usually mistaken. Okay, so if a dog sees this, they will chew it. If a human sees this, they will write something with it. That proves indisputably by all the logic of the universe that this is not coming from its own side. Okay, I'll say it again. How long did that take? I think we got the 25 years down to 30 seconds or 10 seconds. Okay. If a dog sees this, they want to chew it. If a human sees this, they want to write with it. That proves, forget all religions, forget all traditions, forget all universities, forget all cultures. That proves that this is not coming from its own side. With nobody can debate it. It's not possible. You know, if it's possible, then a dog has to write a poem, okay? Or a human has to chew I have chewed the pen. But, okay, I mean, seriously, chew the pen, okay? So no one can prove me wrong. And no one has ever proven me wrong. One guy in Florida tried. Of course, it was Florida. He said, well, he said, no, but really it's a pen. And I'm like, get out of here. Really, it's nothing. Really, it's neither one. Anyone, a child can understand that, okay? If a dog sees it one way and a human sees it another way, validly, and they can chew it fine, or they can write with it fine, it proves the world is coming from you. It proves it indisputably. Nobody can argue it. The world is coming from your mind, from seeds in your mind. That's all. Okay. And the pen that you used to think was there, which was made in a factory or something, made from oil or petroleum or something, it's not there. And it was never there. And that's emptiness. And there's nothing else to say. You know, that's emptiness. There's nothing else. You can read Nagarjuna for the rest of your life, and I did. But there's nothing else to say, okay? There is no pen in my hand which is not coming from me. That's all. That's emptiness. That's the total meaning of emptiness, okay? And you can study for years and years. Why? Intelligent people want multiple proofs, okay? And that's fine. But in the end, it's that simple, okay? Everything is coming from your mind, obviously. Or the dog would write a poem, obviously. There's no question. Okay, and that's all. That's all. Everything is, all your problems are also coming from your mind. Okay, and the solutions are coming from your mind. That's all. All right, one more question.
Sure.
By the way, I don't know. I want to say indisputable logic. The pen is, no one can disagree with the pen. No one who's not drunk or crazy can disagree with the pen. And that's all. And that, by the way, that's the only purpose of 500 years of Buddhist logic. Okay, to prove the pen. That's all. You know, so you can't say it's not true. Nobody can say it's not true. That's all. That's emptiness. You don't need to. In the end, that's all there is. Okay. All right, Timothy. Whose pen? I don't want this karma.
So this is a question for online. It's about taking a challenge and turning it into a wild success. And it has to do with, how can I turn the challenge of finishing the 18 ACI courses into a success? Because the main question is that it takes a long time. They're very challenging. There's times where we don't understand what's in them. How do we know what the long-term goal is, but we have challenges to get them done. Can you help us with some seeds for that?
Yeah, good. I'll tell you some, like last night I was doing the fire offering, and there's this part that you recite, right? And at some point, I learned it probably 30 years ago or something, 40 years ago. I was at a fire offering. My teacher would do fire offering, and they would go fast, you know, you know, like this, and I'm like, you know, and then I thought I will never be able to do that, and then I one day I made a decision. I'm gonna do it. You know, I'm gonna memorize, and I'm not gonna avoid it anymore. Okay, I'm not gonna avoid it anymore. I mean, either you learn it or you don't learn it. If you decide to learn it, it's hard, and it takes hard work. You know, and I said to myself, is it worth it to you? And I said, yeah, it's worth it to be able to offer to Vajrayogini this offering, you know, it's worth it. Then then my head said, then God damn it, you gotta work hard and you gotta do it, you know, and that's the only way to do it. There's no magic way. It's just hard work, you know, and there's a feeling about hard work. When you hit hard work, there's a decision you make. Are you gonna do the hard work, or are you gonna give up? You know, you got a choice. You have a choice. You hit something difficult. And I remember the decision. I remember the moment on the fire offering. I remember the moment, and I said, I'm gonna do it. You know, I don't care. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna keep cracking my head until I can do it. You know, and it's a decision. You just make a decision, and there's no easy way. It's just hard work, and the hard work comes from a decision. You have to make a decision. I want to learn that. I'm going to learn that, and it hurts, and it's difficult. And I said, I don't care. I'm going to learn it. I made a decision to learn it. You know, and you can't gain anything valuable without those decisions. It can't happen. It never happens. Okay. There's times in your life when you're gonna have to work really hard to understand the deeper details of emptiness. It's just hard work, and you got to make a decision. You know, you can watch Netflix, or you can give up Netflix and do hard work, and it's a decision. And by the way, I watched Netflix. I watched last night. I went home and watched Netflix. a little bit. And that's fine. When you need to rest, rest. When you need to relax, relax. But the valuable, take it from an old man. The valuable things in life, they need hard work. They take hard work. And you have to decide, I'm going to do the hard work. And if it doesn't take hard work, it's probably not that valuable. Got it? So don't ask me, is there an easy way to do the 18 courses? Don't ask, you're asking the wrong person. You know, all valuable things take hard work. And that's only a decision. It's just a decision. Anybody can master the Geshe course. Anybody can master the 18 courses, 36 courses. Anybody can do it. You just have to work hard. So you're asking the wrong person. If you want an easy way, then I don't know, watch TV all day. That's easier. But you don't get the rewards. You know, it takes hard work. And I'll tell you something else. If you get in the habit of facing up to hard work, it becomes easy. Okay. If you get in the habit of attacking difficult things with gusto, with joy, then that becomes a habit, and you get good at it, and then you can do really difficult things. Okay, because you're in the habit. Okay, all right. So from an old man to a young kid, get in that habit of attacking hard things. And leave the easy things for other people. Okay, leave the easy things for lazy people. Okay? But attack the hard things, and it's worth it. Okay, the rewards are worth it. The rewards are endless. The rewards are unbelievable. You know, it's extraordinary. I can't even start to tell you how sweet it is. Your whole life will open up like I don't know, like Diamond Mountain Sky. Okay. But you gotta have a different attitude about hard work. Okay, and that's all. Okay, we're taking a break.
No. Oh, okay. So what are we doing? Okay. Why am I here? So what's coming up next? I'm sorry, this will just be a few minutes. I'm sorry, it's a few more minutes. What's coming up next is we have an exciting program. We're going back to Guadalajara in July. And what's really cool is the next program, that where this text goes, is it goes into continues to discuss this idea of how to turn challenges into wild successes. And then it begins the transitions into Lojang, developing the good heart, right? They unfortunately call it mind training in some places, which is not quite the right thing. But we're ready to go to Guadalajara. And there's someone here who's going to sell it to us. Can you put Pachi up? Nope, no, not the video. That's Geshe Michael. But Pachi is online, and he works for ACI. He's the director of the Casa Jardín project, and he's also the producer of the event in Guadalajara.
Hi, team. Thanks. First of all, thanks, Geshe, for these great teachings and your advices. We're excited to have you here in July. Dates are July 5th to 11th. So ACI is celebrating again our Lam Rim close to the foothills of the mountains surrounding Guadalajara. This is an amazing forest called La Primavera, And this forest provides this place with a very comfortable climate year-round, as Geshe keeps repeating. It's been 4 years now since the last time we gathered together for a Lamrim in Guadalajara. It took that long to change back this karma. So we will have the best Lamrim teachings ever. We'll have yoga classes for all levels. We'll have meditation sessions already. And we'll have ceremonies like the one we had yesterday in Diamond Mountain. All of these by themselves should be enough to make you come. But why not mention our specialty? We'll have delicious vegetarian food thanks to our Peach Tree Show chef Flavia Langoni. Yay! She will be working hand by hand with the hotel kitchen to provide amazing food. We'll have dancing classes to complement yoga and help move some extra wins through our channels. We'll have Don Jesus, who he's representing the Mexican Huichol people, and he will be around us for a few days too. He's a highly respected 1-year-old healer who always comes and helps us to have a peaceful retreat. We will also have a stage prepared for music performance. So you'll have 3 months to rehearsal your songs, and you know, Geshe loves to play music with friends. We're also working on a concierge assistant plan to make all our international friends feel better here. And also, if you want to come with kids, we are ready to have them here. Sofia Arellano is preparing a great kids program too. And above all, we have the people from Guadalajara, who are known for their warmth and hospitality, making visitors feel welcome at all times. I can say this because I am a migrant myself, and for me, Mexican people are like, I don't know, hearts with legs. By the way, Mexico is a visa friendly, so everyone can come and get a visa very easily. All good reasons, right? But if you cannot make it to Mexico, we will still try our best to show you these through our online courses. So please come to Mexico and join online. And Tim, we have a video prepared for you. Can we show it? No sound.
Your mind get weary and confused. You will be still, don't try. Don't let your heart get heavy, child, inside you. There's a strength that lies. Soul get lonely, child is only time it will go by. faces, places. It's in you, that's where you'll find.
Pachi, any last words? Any inspirational words from you?
And please come. We'll entertain you for sure.
Microphone said no.
He's saying something, but it's in here, but we can't hear it in here. Okay. Cool. Well, Pachi, thank you so much for producing this event. If you guys saw in that last part, did you see how many people were there? That's how many people can come. And what's really neat about the Guadalajara events is that it has a very unique flavor, right? Each event has its own, where we go, it feels completely different. So it doesn't feel like Diamond Mountain. And the Guadalajara group, they really, really welcome people and open their hearts. And the event is called The Power of a Good Heart. So we hope to see you all there. The links are online if you would like to join. For those of you here, we'll send that out in just a moment. Thank you, Pachi, and good luck.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Geshe.
Yeah, so we're going to take a break now. We're going to do that in the break. Not live. So we're going to take a break now, and we'll be back in about 25 minutes or so. And yeah, we'll see you soon.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to cut. Can you guys cut this from